Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Awesome. Benjamin, are you live? I see you're connected.
Yes.
Awesome.
I am live.
Yay! I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to this, and I'll do a quick introduction and then turn it over to you. Is that okay?
Cool. Sounds great.
All right. Benjamin King is a certified medical Qigong. Is that how you say that? Qigong?
Qigong. Yeah.
Qigong. Chinese energetic medicine practitioner and the founder of Blue Petal Foundation. The purpose of his nonprofit organization is to empower personal, deep healing and self-transformation, unite spiritually awakened communities, and generate sustainable energy economies through holistic paradigms, spiritual truths, and ancient wisdom. Awesome. I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more. Thank you, and the time is yours.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Here I am at my center, Blue Petal Foundation in Alpine, Utah, and this is one of the best times to do Qigong. I'm looking out the window, the horizon, the sun is setting. This is kind of where Yang starts transitioning into Yin. And we will, for the next 25 minutes, do some basic Qigong exercises together. Now, for those of you who don't know what Qigong is, let me break down and give the definition of the word to you. These are two concepts, Qi and Gong. So Qi is often translated as life force or energy, or sometimes it's translated as the breath of life. And the word Gong is the skill or the work aspect of skill development. Whatever you spend much time and effort on and the skill that is developed, that's Gong. So you probably are familiar with Kung Fu. A lot of people associate Kung Fu with martial arts. Well, it's the same word, Kung and Gong. It's just the work and it's the skill that's developed. And Fu means technique. So you don't have to be a martial artist to be a Kung Fu master. You can be a Kung Fu master chef. You can be a Kung Fu master teacher, Kung Fu master of working with children, whatever it is. The development and the cultivation of the skill and the technique. So with Qigong, this is learning the skill of life force. And life force, this all-pervading energy that flows in the body, and that flows throughout all of nature, and that flows throughout all the universe, is something that the ancient Chinese and a lot of ancient cultures were aware of. They had conscious awareness of. They were like the fish in the ocean that was aware that it was swimming in the ocean. And so they developed ways of cultivating this life force because they recognized how it flows in the body, how it flows in between all of the organs, and how it's influenced by consciousness. So there is a saying that the imagination leads the mind leads the Qi, and the Qi leads the blood. There's an interaction between the imagination, the consciousness, and things that are in the physical, temporal world, including our physical body. Now, the three objectives that we focus on within health Qigong or medical Qigong, because some will study Qigong for martial arts application. And these are people who are cultivating a lot of power, a lot of hidden power, and can do these superhuman demonstrations of breaking bricks, smashing concrete blocks. And those are all for real. That is not done with muscle and with just strength alone. That is through energy cultivation. Some will cultivate the life force for spiritual transformational purposes. But what I'm going to teach is kind of a combination of the martial, the spiritual, and the medical or the health. And we either focus on purging and releasing deep-seated stress, deep-seated intentions that we store in the body, and that affect the organs and the organ systems, and basically all the systems of the body are influenced by any chronic patterning of suppression and tension and the formation of the tension in the tissues. So we're going to learn how to release that. And the other objective is to strengthen or to tonify. And that's if we're dealing with any kind of deficiency or weakness, we can strengthen that up. We can boost the life force in the body. And then the third objective that we can do with life force cultivation is regulation. And that's simply bringing everything into a yin-yang balance, a harmony. Because that's the state of homeostasis that we're looking for. That when we have that balance and we can maintain that balance, it sustains every good thing. It sustains that flow through us, around us, and is conducive to health and happiness. So, if you're joining me, I would love for you to learn how to stand. And that is one of the first things that if you were training in China, traditionally you would learn how to stand like a master. And there are standing masters that spend years cultivating this ability of standing like a tree, where you are energetically firmly rooted. So I will give you just the basic outline of this. Our feet are flat on the floor, and our weight is centered. So we gently rock forward and backward, just slightly shifting the weight so we can get a sense of what an imbalance is. Having an imbalance will help us recognize when we're balanced. So a little too far forward, a little too far back, and we go smaller and smaller and smaller until we find, I'm just gently rocking back and forth, forward and backward, until we get right there in the center. Right there where I feel like I am falling down into the earth, except standing up. And you kind of want to create that sensation of I'm falling while standing. And there I'm allowing gravity, I'm cooperating with gravity to draw my whole body down into the center of the earth. So my knees are slightly bent, but my toes and my knees are pointing forward. They're positioned shoulder width apart. And then I am slightly tucking my tailbone under. So this causes my low back to push up, but I'm elongating my spine at the same time. My shoulders are relaxed, and I'm breathing down here into my abdomen. So as I inhale, I should feel this lower abdominal area expand. I'm going to slightly open my armpits. That's just going to create energy flow through the channels there, specifically the heart channel. And this is what is called the Wu-Ji posture, or just standing, learning how to stand like a tree. But I want to help you to get your body warmed up. So what we're going to do is open the wrists. We're going to bring a circular motion to the wrists. And as we go along, I'm going to share with you some of the secrets that I've discovered about life force cultivation. For anybody who has watched Qigong instruction, Qigong videos online, that's a great way to see what Qigong looks like. But to get into the deeper experience of life force cultivation, it requires that we bring our body, our breath, and our imagination into harmony. In other words, I'm always giving my body something to do, I'm giving my breath something to do, and I'm giving my mind something to do. And also bringing in a sense of wonder and amazement. So this only works if I can be present. Right now I'm just opening my elbows. So I have to be absolutely present. I don't fully benefit from the exercises if I'm going through the motion, but my mind is somewhere else. If I'm thinking of tasks, chores, projects I got to get done, I'm scattering the chi. I'm dispersing my energy. So I'm learning to be mindful, and I'm learning to bring meaning into the movement. So now I'm going to open open the shoulders. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades back, pinch up like I'm trying to touch my ears with my shoulders, and I'm going to roll it forward and relax. Squeeze between the shoulder blades, rise it up, bring forward and relax. It's like you're giving yourself your own shoulder massage with your shoulders. Allow each breath in to be deep and elongated. Okay, now we're going to pinch in the front and we're going to reverse the motion. Pinch in the front, roll up like you're trying to touch your ears with your shoulders, pull back and release. Okay, good job. Now I'm going to straighten my legs. I'm going to place my hands on my hips and I'm going to open the hips. So I'm bringing all of my awareness onto ball and socket joints of the hips. And I'm going to explore this full range of motion. And this is going to help me discover, where I have tightness or stiffness. I'm just going to stretch through that. All the while, my mind is focused on these two joints. Because my imagination, and I'm imagining what my ball and socket joints look like. My imagination leads the mind, and my mind leads the chi, and the chi leads the blood. Okay, now I'm going to reverse. And go through that full range of motion as if my hips were the hands on the face of a clock. And it's just going around all the face of the clock, reaching out in all directions. All right, now I'm going to my feet together. I'm just going to slightly bend the knees, but not beyond the toes. And I'm going to circle my knees. And my mind is going to be on my knees. What happens when I open these joints? It's called opening the joints because we want to facilitate the flow of both chi and blood moving through the joints. This is an excellent way of improving the circulation through the joints and preventing arthritis. Okay, now I'm going to bring my focus onto my ankles. So I'm going to weight bear on one leg, and my heel is off the floor, and I'm going to the full range of motion of my ankle. And I'm going to bring all of my awareness and my consciousness onto that ankle. And I'm dilating the channels of the flow of the energy and of the blood. And I'm going to reverse the direction. This is helping to expand everything throughout these channels. And you're going to feel it because now I just want you to stand in position. And before we go to the next ankle, compare. How does one ankle that you just opened feel compared to the other one that we haven't opened yet? Does it feel a little more open? A little more expanded? Okay, now we're going to rotate and open up the other ankle. And reverse. So within the esoteric teachings of this practice and in ancient Taoist teachings, there is what is known as the three treasures. There is the treasure of earth and the treasure of heaven. The union of heaven and earth produces the third treasure. Can you guess what that is? That is the treasure of man. That's you. You are the third treasure. There is an aspect of your being that is from this earth, from the elements, specifically the 5 elements: the fire, the wood, the water, the earth, and the metal. There's another aspect of you that is not from the earth. from the heavens. It's from the divine. And so you are the natural offspring of the union of heaven and earth. And so through the cultivation practice, we're mindful of these two energies, that we can draw upon these energies. And so we learn how to breathe. We can breathe through the bottom of the feet. Even though I'm taking in air through the nose, my imagination is pulling energy of earth up through my feet, and I can feel it flowing through my body. Or I can breathe in, and I can breathe in through the crown of my head, the energy of the chi of heaven. And I'm going to lead you through an exercise where we are pulling and drawing upon both of these energies. And this is called pulling down the heavens. Now, we involve sound in this exercise, because anytime we can make vibration, resonant vibration, that's going to affect the energy around us, the energy within us, and especially if we can create that vibration in the body, in the tissues. So the sound that we're going to make is a descending ah, and that sound is going to be accompanied by a feeling. The feeling that we're bringing into this is the feeling of release. It's that same feeling where you've worked a long day, and this day is kind of like one of those days, this full day conference, and those of us who have been involved in this, you go home, you're done with everything, you walk into your home and you sit down in your favorite couch or favorite chair, and what's the feeling? It's a release. We naturally use sound to dissipate stress or tension. So that's the feeling that we're going to bring in. But here's the motion. I'm going to inhale as I draw the hands up to the sides of my body. And then at shoulder height, the palms are going to turn up. So at this point, I'm imagining that I'm drawing the energy of earth up. And it's coming up around my body, it's coming up through my body. But here, I'm going to prepare to interact with the energy of heaven. And so the palms turn up at shoulder height. And now I'm interacting with the energy of heaven, and I'm collecting it like it's a waterfall. And then as the hands come down in front of the body, I'm going to make that descending ha sound. And my whole body's going to sink. And I'm going to also respond to that drawing down into the earth. Now we do this 3 times. The first time, my intention is to clear everything in front of my body from the tissues out to 5 to 7 feet, because that is how far you can extend the electromagnetic field that naturally surrounds the living body. The earth has an electromagnetic field that surrounds it. Our body has an electromagnetic field that surrounds it. Every single one of our 50 trillion cells has a little electromagnetic field that surrounds it. There's a positive end and a negative end. And whenever you have those polar ends and an electrical current, there's a field around it. So we're going to use our consciousness and awareness to inhale and draw up the energy of earth, gather in the energy of heaven, and clear the front side of the body. And we're going to direct everything that doesn't serve our highest good down into the earth. So it's literally going to clear and wash the whole front side of our body. You know that feeling when you get into an argument with somebody and it gets really hot and contentious, and even after you walk away, you still feel this cloud of a buzz around you? That's what we're clearing out of our field. So let's do it again with that relaxed sensation. And we're directing everything that gets cluttered or stuck inside that electromagnetic field and through the front of our tissues, all tension in the tissues. And it's going to melt and dissolve down into the earth. So here we go. Inhale up. Now we're going to do it again with this time. Our intention is to clear the backside. Inhale up. As you exhale, clear behind you. Down into the earth. Third time, inhale, gather up earth, gather in the heavens, and exhale to clear the center through the entire core of the body. And feel how that just provides a gentle, cleansing, energetic shower. Can you tell the difference? Can you feel something is a little more clear, a little more open, a little more free? I want to lead you through the exercise one more time. We're going to go through the front. And remember, we're dissolving any tension out of the tissues as well. And then the back. And then we're going to go one more time through the center. When you have your hands, when you're preparing to lift them up, I want you to imagine that you're extending them. Energetically, you're extending your hands and your arms down into the earth. And it's like dipping them into the putty of earth energy. And as you inhale, you're pulling it up. And now as the hands turn up, here's the radiant, cascading shower of divine light energy. And you're gathering both. And you're using it to wash the front. Down into the earth. Repeat, here we go. Pull up the golden earth energy. Collect the heavens. Clear now the backside of the body. And then, third time, gather up the earth. Gather in the heavens. And clear to the center. Okay, so that's a very simple exercise. It's called pulling down the heavens. I love to do this. I love to start the day with this, and I love to end the night with this. The motto is purge the day away. Just clear and remove all of the cobwebs, all of the stress and the tension. Just imagine it dissolving like an iceberg. You know, when you see the front of an iceberg, the face of it, as it gets warmer and warmer, it just liquefies. And it breaks off down into the ocean. That's what's happening to any stuckness, any crustation in the body and around the body and in the body. And it's just going to be dissolved and washed away. The energetic shower. Now, with the 5 minutes, because that time flies by, we are going to do another one of my favorite exercises called opening heaven and earth. So once again, here I am, as a being that is the offspring of the union of heaven and earth. What I'm going to do is bring my hands together in front of me like this. And here's the motion. Here's how the exercise looks. I'm going to lift the hands in front of my body, and I'm going to extend them high into the heavens. And then separate them and slowly draw them down back to the starting position. Here's what I'm doing with the breath. Inhale up. And then about shoulder height, exhale out. Now that's what we're doing with the body. Now let's give our mind something to do. What is our intention? What are we connecting with through our consciousness? As my hands come up, I'm imagining that I'm extending them high into the heavens. And as they separate, I am parting the celestial clouds into the divine heavenly realm. And as I do, it creates this cascading waterfall of pure, radiant, divine light. And I'm absorbing that. And it's pouring into my body, into the central core, and filling me up like pouring clear, clean water into an empty glass. All of that is washing down and flowing through me and filling me up. Then, as I get to about shoulder height and I exhale, all of that inner radiant light is going to then shine out in all directions through the tissues. And it's just going to be radiating like a phosphorus light. So that's how we go through. With hands together, I'm going to inhale slowly into my lower abdomen. Imagine that you're extending hands high, opening the heavenly celestial realm. As you do, it's just creating this cascading waterfall, like water pouring into this glass, filling you up whole and complete. Shoulder height, then you're going to exhale and radiate all that light through you. And so it has a purifying, sanctifying effect throughout your entire body from the inner core outward. And we're going to repeat. Inhale up. Drawing it in, drawing it in, drawing it in. There at the shoulders, exhale. And feel like you're that phosphorus light radiating out in all directions. Now, once again, inhale out. Continue inhaling, continue drawing the breath in. Receive more and more of that radiant light, and now radiate it out. And repeat. Let's do this 2 more times. And exhale out. Okay, that's opening the heavens. Now we're going to reverse it and open the earth. And with both hands, I'm going to extend down into the earth. And as the hands draw apart from each other, I'm imagining that I'm extending them and opening the earthly realm. And as I inhale up, I'm pulling the golden earth energy up into my body through my feet. And I'm feeling that fill up my body, whole and total. And then when I reach the peak, the apex, I slowly lower the hands down in front of my body and I exhale out. And I feel that golden light energy from the inner core radiating out through my tissues in all directions. And I'm just going to repeat. Extend the hands down, open up the earthly realm. As you do, inhale, draw that golden earth energy up to the feet, up the legs, into the inner core of the body. And then, as you slowly exhale, lower the hands down in front of the body and radiate that light outward. This is like giving yourself an energetic shower from the inside out. For thousands of years, this was the healthcare system of China. There were millions and millions of Chinese who would practice these simple exercises every day, and this is how they cultivated their garden of health in themselves. They would learn to live in harmony with nature and the changing seasons. They recognized that the body is a manifestation of nature. It wasn't separate from nature. The body's part of nature. And so it is also subject to the cycles and the seasons and the changes. And they would live for a very, very long time. This is how you increase the longevity of life. Okay, let's do this one last time. Just feel that light radiating out from the central core outward. Okay, we're just going to end with one last exercise, and it's pulling down the heavens. We're going to do that again, but with a different intention. We're not going to make a sound. We're not trying to clear or purge or clear away. Instead, we're going to inhale and gather up the earth. Hands turn up the shoulders to gather in the divine white. And as we exhale, we're just going to gather and collect. And we're going to keep it right down here as if we're storing it into this main central energy center. This is called the Dantian, the lower Dantian. It's just about 2 or 3 fingers below the belly button and inside. Now we're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale and imagine drawing up that golden earth energy up through the palms, the feet. Now gather in from the heavens. And combine and gather both energies right there in the center. And just take a moment to store it. And then one last time, inhale up slowly. Then exhale and store. This was just an introduction to some very basic and very simple exercises that have an ancient origin. There is a written, recorded history that is over 4,000 years old of some of these movements and exercises. They're simple, but they are tremendously impactful as you go deeper and deeper into this, training more and more and more of the awareness, of the intention, to go deeper and deeper with the intention, until you feel the sensation in the body. And what this has been used for in reversing disease, in improving the immune system, of empowering the body, but also the state of the soul to find that interconnection with the true self of returning to the way of all life is what I call it. If you're interested in learning more, you can visit bluepetalfoundation.org. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this. And with that, I bid you adieu. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Benjamin. That was just phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel so much better. I've been sitting in this chair, and that movement was so powerful. I could feel, and with the way you described it, the imagination leads the chi, which leads the blood, and thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And you were doing great as I was watching.
Thank you so much. I think this concludes the third track for the Global Transformation Festival, and I'm so grateful for you and for everybody who has attended. And there's so much to wrap my head around and release my head around as well, I guess, is probably a way to look at it. But again, thank you for your time, and for all those who have participated. Thank you.